Hi guys, my name is Adam, and over the past decade, I've built brands that have generated over £20 million in sales on Amazon. At the age of 17, I made a choice that most people would call risky, even reckless. I dropped out of college with no degree, no qualifications, and no special connections to open doors for me. All I had was a laptop, a vision, and the determination to build something meaningful. Fast forward to today, I'm building an 8-figure e-commerce brand. And if there's one thing that I've learned along the way, it's this: the right strategy can completely transform your life. But this video isn't about me, it's about you. You're here because you want something more out of life, and you're serious about building a business that works, one that gives you true freedom and financial independence. Maybe you've been researching how to make money online, and now you're asking yourself, can I build a successful online business from scratch? And is it really possible to make this work? Let me answer that for you. Yes, it's real, and yes, you can absolutely make it work. And today, I'll show you how to do so. Here's the truth: success in e-commerce doesn't come down to luck, and it's certainly not about finding the next big thing or hoping for a miracle. It's about following a proven system, one that minimizes risk, maximizes your chances of success, and helps you build a real business that generates long-lasting income. Not some flashy get-rich-quick scheme, but a business that gives you true freedom. The freedom to travel whenever you want. Freedom to work on your own terms from anywhere in the world. Freedom to wake up every single day knowing that you're in control of your own life. If that sounds what you're looking for, if you're ready to stop dreaming and start doing, this is where your journey begins. In this video, I'm going to walk you through step by step through how you can start your very own e-commerce business in 2025 and take it from zero to something truly life-changing. No fluff, no hype, just real actionable strategies that help me generate over £20 million in sales on Amazon. So let's dive right in. Step 1 is choosing the right platform. Before we dive into products or suppliers, the first decision that you need to make is where you're going to sell your products. And when it comes to e-commerce, there are 4 major platforms to consider: Shopify, eBay, TikTok, and Amazon. Here's a quick breakdown. Shopify is perfect if you want full control over your store's design and branding. You're in charge of every aspect, from the marketing to the sales funnels. But here's the catch: Shopify doesn't bring customers to you. You'll need to run ads, build an audience, and tackle the tech side yourself. eBay works well for auction-style listings or selling unique used items. However, it's not the best option for building a long-term brand. TikTok, as we all know, is exploding as an e-commerce platform, especially for viral products. And it's super fantastic for building an engaged audience, for creating buzz, and for driving huge amounts of demand for your product. A single trending video can put your brand in front of millions of potential customers overnight. But here's the catch: relying solely on TikTok can be risky. What's trending today might be forgotten tomorrow. Trends on TikTok can fade as quickly as they rise. That's why TikTok works best as a tool to build excitement and generate massive amounts of awareness, but not as the foundation for your business. It's the spark that lights the fire, but you need a solid platform to sustain it and to actually grow your business. This brings us to the last option: Amazon, the platform I recommend and the one we build our businesses around. Why? Well, let me break it down. Simply put, it's the world's largest online marketplace. It dominates e-commerce and it's responsible for 60% of all of the online sales in the US. So to put that into context, that would mean out of every dollar spent online in the US, 60 cents of that is spent on Amazon. Secondly, Amazon is the most plug-and-play e-commerce platform because its ecosystem is designed for ease of use. Think about it. Millions of ready-to-buy customers search on Amazon daily, giving you access to a pre-built audience without actually needing to generate traffic from scratch. And thirdly, Amazon's fulfillment by Amazon service. With Amazon FBA, Amazon takes care of the heavy lifting. So they take care of the inventory management, the shipping, and even the customer service. Add Amazon's Prime fast shipping, and and your customers get a seamless shopping experience while you get to focus on growing your business. Here's the best part: Amazon does the bulk of the work for you. So unlike Shopify, where you need to create a website, where you need to figure out the tech, and then you need to run ads to attract customers, Amazon provides you with a ready-made ecosystem with millions of shoppers who are visiting Amazon per day, all with one goal in mind, and that is to buy. Think about it this way: Google is a search engine for information, right? Amazon is a search engine for products. You could even call Amazon the Google of products. Every day, millions of people come onto Amazon ready to make a purchase, and your job as a brand owner is to meet their needs with a standout product, something that solves a problem, addresses a specific desire, and delivers real value to customers. When you create a product that truly stands out, Amazon's massive audience and the streamlined systems do the rest, making it the ultimate platform to launch and scale your e-commerce business. And it gets even better. Here's why starting on Amazon is a game changer. You're tapping into a massive ready-to-buy customer base. You can focus on what really matters, developing your product and building your brand, while Amazon takes care of the logistic. It's hands down the most efficient way to get your business up and running. So while platforms like TikTok and Instagram are great for building excitement, Amazon is where you really launch and grow your e-commerce business. Now that we've got our platform locked in, let's move on to the next step. How do you actually go about finding the right product? Now, let's be real. Finding the right product can make or break your e-commerce business. There's a saying, and it goes, not all products are created equal. Some products will sell out like hotcakes, while others will just sit there gathering dust. So how do you make sure that you're picking a winning product? Well, it comes down to three core principles: market potential, demand, and profit margin. These three principles are universal. Whether you're selling on Amazon, on TikTok, on Shopify, whether it's retail or anywhere else, these principles apply. So let's break each one down, starting with market potential. The first question to ask yourself is, does this product have big market potential? And market potential simply means that there's a large enough audience of people who genuinely need or want your product. A great way to identify this is by focusing on problem-solving products. Here's the thing: people buy products for one main reason: to solve a problem. Think about it. Someone with back pain might search for ergonomic chairs or for things like lumbar support cushions. Busy parents might look for kitchen gadgets that make cooking faster and easier. Or people wanting glowing skin will hunt for skincare products that deliver results. Your job is simple: to find a product that solves a specific, urgent problem for a large enough group of people who are willing to pay for that product. But where do you start? So look around you. A great way to discover these products is by observing your own life and of those around you. What challenges do you face? What about the people in your life? Is there something that could make your life easier or better? Once you've got a product idea, the next step is to validate it. This ensures that your idea has real potential before you go out and invest time and money. Here are some tools that can help you do that. You can look at Amazon's bestseller list. These showcase products that are already proven winners, and they are products that are consistently generating sales and will give you an idea about what products are performing well. Then you've got Google Trends, so you can use this to see if there's any interest in your product, whether that product idea is growing, whether it's stable, or whether that idea is fading away over time. Then you've got things like TikTok and social media, because viral trends often reveal new untapped opportunities, giving you a chance to get in early. And then you have Helium 10. Helium 10 is a powerful Amazon-specific tool that helps you dive deep into product demand, into the competition, and into search data. And it's a tool that we use day in, day out, and a tool that we've been using for the last 5 years. So by using all of these tools to focus on products that solve real problems, you dramatically increase your chances of success right from the start. The second key is demand. Now, demand is critical because it determines how well your product will sell and how much potential traffic it can attract. Even the best product in the world won't sell if there's no demand for it. So how do you go about gauging demand? You need to look at things like search volume. So again, tools like Helium 10 can show you how many people are actively searching for your product on a month-on-month basis. You can look at seasonality. Is this product in demand year-round or only during certain times? For example, snow shovels are great in the winter, right? But they're going to be useless in summer. And then you have competitor analysis. Check who's already selling similar products. An overcrowded market can indicate demand. Of course, because there's lots of products, but then you'll need a strategy to stand out. The sweet spot is finding a product that solves a problem for a big enough group of people that has consistent year-round demand in a market that is stable or growing. But demand alone isn't enough. This brings us on to the third key, profit margin. Here's where the numbers come into play. Even if your product has market potential and high demand, it's not worth it if you can't make a decent profit. Profit margin is simply the difference between your total costs, so your shipping, your fees, and the price you sell your product for. Here's a rule of thumb. Aim for at least a 50 to 70% gross margin. Why? Because you'll need to cover things like marketplace fees, so Amazon FBA fees or Shopify's transaction fees, or things like your marketing expenses, your advertising, your influencers. These are things that add up. So after all of these expenses, you need to aim to have at least 20% net profit left over so that you can actually make your efforts for selling these products worthwhile. These are the three key factors to the winning formula. When you combine market potential, high demand, and a strong profit margin, you've got the foundation for a winning product. And as a bonus for this video, here's a simple checklist to evaluate any product idea. Does it solve a real problem? So people buy solutions, not just products. Is there consistent year-round demand? Reliable demand ensures that you've got steady sales, but you want to make sure that there's enough demand for your product without diving into these oversaturated or highly competitive markets. And the last question is, can you achieve at least a 20% profit margin after all costs? A solid margin ensures that your business stays profitable and scalable. And if you can confidently say yes to all of these three, you're on the right track. You're making money. Just make sure that your product isn't in a market where there's absolutely no room to compete. So what I mean by that is markets like vitamin D3 or argan hair oils. It's going to be very hard to stand out. Step 2 is finding a supplier. Now that you've found the right product, it's time to bring it to life. And that starts with finding a supplier who can produce or source your product. This step is absolutely crucial because the quality of your product and the reliability of your supplier will directly impact how successful your business becomes. A great supplier means smooth operations, happy customers, and repeat business. A bad supplier, well, that could lead to delays, low quality products, and a ton of refunds. And that's definitely not what you want. So how do you find the right supplier? It really depends on what type of product you're selling. Option 1 is local suppliers. So if you're in the UK, US, or Europe. If you're working with a product that needs a bit more regulation or trust, if you think about supplements, beauty products, medicinal products, products that need some sort of regulation, you'll want to look for local suppliers in the US, the UK, or Europe. These suppliers are more likely to meet the necessary safety standards and can provide faster shipping, which means happier customers and fewer complaints. Okay, well, now you're thinking, oh, that's good. How do I go about finding these local suppliers? Simple, by a Google search. Use search terms like the product name plus private label manufacturer or the product name plus white label, or similar to that. Here's an example. So vitamin C serum, private label manufacturer UK, or protein powder, white label USA. Option 2 is international suppliers. Think Alibaba. For general consumer goods or for products that don't require any regulation, Alibaba is your go-to platform. Alibaba connects you with thousands of manufacturers, mostly from China, who produce pretty much anything that you can think of. You'll get competitive pricing, and many manufacturers offer customization options, so you can make your product unique to your own brand. Once you've identified potential suppliers, it's now time to reach out out to them. The key to success here is professionalism, clarity, and thorough communication. Here's what to focus on when you reach out to them. Product customizations. So ask about options like custom packaging, colors, sizes, and other branding elements. Also ask about minimum order quantities. So you need to determine the lowest amount of units that you can order to minimize your risk while you're starting out new and testing the market. And then of course, pricing and shipping costs. You need to negotiate favorable terms on pricing and shipping so that you can maximize your overall profit margin. Another thing people seem to forget when they reach out to suppliers is lead times. You need to understand that production and delivery times are different. So in order to gauge an understanding of when your products are going to be ready, you need to ask questions about how long it takes to produce the products and how long it'll take to actually ship them to you. Here are 3 things that you want to keep in mind when you're reaching out to suppliers. Always start with a test order. Before placing any large orders, always request a small sample to ensure that the quality matches with your expectations. This helps avoid costly mistakes and ensures that your product meets customer standards. You need to negotiate terms. Suppliers expect negotiation, so don't hesitate to ask for better pricing, for lower MOQs, or for more flexible payment terms, especially if you're planning to scale and grow your business. Build strong relationships. Communication is everything, so clear, open dialogue with your supplier sets the foundation for a long-term partnership. And with this, you can address any concerns early on and maintain transparency throughout your relationship. Step 3 is branding your product and making it stand out. Once you've nailed down the right product and you've reached out to a manufacturer that can produce it, the next step is branding that product and differentiating it. Because let's be real, the last thing that you want to do is blend in with the crowd. The worst mistake that you can make is creating a product that looks and feels like everyone else's and then trying to compete on price. Why? Because competing on price alone is a race to the bottom. And trust me, nobody wins there. If you want to succeed, whether it's on Amazon or Shopify or anywhere else that you're looking to sell your product needs to stand out. It needs to be irresistible to your target audience. Okay, so how do you go about making your product stand out? Well, simply put, your product needs to be better. That's it. You need to figure out how to improve on the product idea that you started with. What can you offer that makes your version the better option? What's your unique selling point, your USP? In order to figure out how to improve your product, you can start by diving into your competitors' reviews. See what people are saying, what they love, what they hate about the product, and what things keep popping up. You can then use this information to make improvements to your product that matter. Now let's dive deeper into branding. Branding is more than just a logo or a color scheme. It's about creating a connection, a feeling, and a story that resonates with your audience. Think about it. Have you ever scrolled through Amazon or TikTok or any other platform and seen a product that instantly grabbed your attention? Maybe it had sleek, modern packaging, or the tagline was so clever that it made you stop and read more. That's the magic of strong branding. When you combine a standout product with branding that speaks directly to your audience, you're no longer competing on just price. You're creating something that people actually want to go out and buy. Remember, branding isn't just how your product looks, it's how it makes your customers feel. If you nail this, you won't have a product that doesn't just sell, it becomes unforgettable. When done effectively, this allows you to command a higher retail price. I mean, think about it. By enhancing your product's perceived value, so the value customers see in your product, these customers are now more willing to pay a premium because they feel confident that the quality and the benefits justify the price. Step 4 is launching your product on Amazon. This is where all of your preparation pays off. The moment that your product goes live, your listing isn't just a page. It's your storefront, it's your first impression, and it's your sales pitch all rolled into one. Do it correct and you'll grab attention and convert browsers into buyers. So start with your product title. Your title needs to be clear, concise, and packed with keywords that your customers are actively searching for. Think about what makes your product stand out and how someone would describe it when they're looking for that type of product. You need to make it easy for shoppers to instantly understand what it is exactly that you're offering. Bullet points. These are your product's elevator pitch. Highlight your product's best features and benefits, but don't just list the specs. Tell the customer why those features matter. Does it solve a problem? Does it save their time? Does it make their life easier? Use this space to show off what makes your product the obvious choice for that customer. Product description. Here's your chance to go deeper. Bring your product to life with a bit of storytelling. Describe how it feels, the results it delivers, or the problems it solves. But don't just sell a product, sell the experience of owning it. And you can do so by your images. So think of images as your silent salesperson. Now think about it, right? You're selling a product on Amazon, so customers can't touch or feel that product. So your photos need to do the heavy lifting. So use high quality resolution images to show every angle, highlight every feature possible, and demonstrate the product in action. You can do that by using lifestyle shots, infographics, and close-ups of your product that can all work together to paint a full picture. Then we move on to pricing. Pricing your product is equally as important as the rest of your listing. Pricing isn't just about numbers, it's about perception. You need to set a price that reflects the quality and the value of your product while also staying competitive in your market. So research your competitors and then aim for a price point that feels fair but still leaves enough room for profitability. When everything is said and done, your product listing is more than just a page on Amazon. It's your shop window, your handshake, your first impression, all rolled into one. So you need to treat it like your most important salesperson. It needs to be polished, it needs to be professional, and it should be designed to convert. This is your chance to stand out in a marketplace by portraying the value of your product. Because, like I said, customers can't pick up and physically analyze them, but the only way they can figure out how your product works, how it looks, what the features are, is by looking at the screen and seeing your listing. So you need to make sure that every element from the title to the images works seamlessly together to tell your product story and to capture your audience's attention. That leaves us with step 5, running ads and marketing your product. So your product is live, your listings are optimized, but now comes the real challenge: standing out in a marketplace with millions of other products out there. With countless competitors on Amazon, the question becomes, how do you rise above the noise and attract buyers? This is where marketing and advertising comes in. This is where you bring your hard work to life and you start turning clicks into sales. Amazon PPC ads are the fastest way to cut through the clutter and get your product in front of the right audience. They let your product show up exactly where buyers are already searching. And when it comes to advertising on Amazon, you might start with manual campaigns like sponsored product targeting and sponsored keyword targeting. Because ultimately, these are the best way to get your products in front of customers who are actively searching for your kind of product in real time. Sponsored product targeting shows your product on other products' listings, and it makes it visible to shoppers who are already browsing similar items. Sponsored keyword targeting ensures that your product appears in search results, but when shoppers type in specific keywords related to your product. Sponsored product targeting campaigns allow you to advertise directly on your competitors' listings. So, for example, if you're selling a vitamin D3 supplement, you can then target listings of other vitamin D3 products. This gives you access to customers who are already interested in buying that kind of product. Sponsored keyword targeting. These campaigns let you bid on relevant search terms. So, using the vitamin D3 example, you might target keywords like vitamin D3 supplement or vitamin D3 tablets or even best vitamin D3 for immunity. So these are campaigns that are designed to drive highly targeted traffic directly to your listing, ensuring that your product gets noticed in a crowded marketplace. When you execute Amazon PPC ads effectively, you create what's called a feedback loop. So you get more visibility, which leads to more sales. More sales leads to better rankings, and better rankings generates even more visibility. However, advertising is just the beginning. Think about it. While advertising drives immediate sales, social media builds your brand's long-term presence. This is where platforms like Instagram, TikTok, and Facebook are where your brand can really come alive. Picture this, a TikTok video showing your product solving a problem in real time. An Instagram reel that brings your audience behind the scenes, sharing the heart and story of your brand. A Facebook post that connects with your audience's lifestyle and their values. This isn't just content, it's brand awareness. And it creates a personal connection with the people who want to buy from you, and it gets them to keep coming back. And that's how you transform your hard work into a thriving e-commerce business. Let's take a moment to recap the journey that we've outlined so far. So you need to choose the right platform, decide where you'll sell, weigh options like Amazon, Shopify, and TikTok to determine the best fit for your goals. Finding the right product. Identify a high potential product by focusing on market demand, solving problems, and maintaining strong profit margins. Branding your product. Develop a compelling brand that resonates with your target audience, setting you apart from the competition. Creating a winning Amazon listing. Optimizing your product page with effective titles, bullet points, descriptions, and high quality images so that you can easily convert browsers into buyers. And then driving traffic through advertising. So use strategies like Amazon PPC and social media marketing to attract customers and build momentum. Each step builds on the last, forming a clear roadmap to take your vision from idea to reality. Now, when you follow each one of these steps correctly, you'll be in a position to make anywhere from 5k, 10k, 20k, or even 50k plus per month with great profit margins. Just like me, I went from being a college dropout to selling over 4 million products in just 1 year with my own brand. Now, I know that this sounds all super exciting, but a quick word of warning. If you try to do this alone, like I did back in 2016, you'll likely spend months or even longer figuring out how to make it work the right way. Trust me, I learned the hard way. You might run into a few roadblocks like picking the wrong type of product, not knowing how to identify a winning product, or maybe you'll make some key mistakes that could cost you a lot in the long run. But here's the thing, if you can solve these problems, the rewards are absolutely worth it. Because the reality is, there's an unprecedented demand for products on Amazon and online right now. There's simply just not enough high quality products to meet that demand. E-commerce is booming. Amazon alone is worth trillions. And in the last 2 years, TikTok has revolutionized how we shop online. Ladies and gentlemen, if you ever wanted to be early for something so big, this is it. And now is the time to take advantage of the new digital retail economy. We're no longer talking about traditional real estate with buildings, leases, and tenants. Instead, we're in the era of digital real estate, where your portfolio isn't made up of properties, but products within your brand. These digital portfolios can grow into incredibly valuable assets, with the potential to sell for 7 figures or more, just like thousands of successful brands on Amazon have already done so. So the question now becomes, how do you achieve results like mine, or like the brands that I've worked with? It comes down to 3 paths forward. Look, there's only 3 ways that this can go from here. Option 1. You can take everything I've shared today and try to figure it out on your own. It's definitely a viable option, and if you feel like it's suited for you, then go ahead. However, be prepared to spend months, maybe even years, trial and erroring your way through. I've been there. I lost touch with friends, I missed out on opportunities, and I spent countless of sleepless nights trying to piece things together and to make things work. And the truth is, doing it alone often costs more in the long run. You'll likely make mistakes that drain your finances, that waste your time, and that leave you feeling stuck, while others who take the right shortcuts are already scaling their businesses and seeing results. Or option 2, which is why I pretty much created the Future of Ecom Launchpad. Now you have the opportunity to choose a faster, proven path. This program is where I personally mentor you, guiding you step by step through every part of the process. It's the exact system that I used to go from zero to then a 7 and 8 figure Amazon business. And it's carefully designed to give you the highest possible chance of success. Now that's your second option. Joining this program means stepping into a proven system that's been meticulously crafted for results. I'll walk you through the exact steps that I took to build a business that's now generated over £20 million. So with mentorship from someone who's been in your shoes and made it to the other side, you'll gain access to the same blueprint that I used to scale my business to 7 figures and beyond. No guesswork, no unnecessary setbacks, just a clear, actionable path forward. The choice is yours. You can spend months trying to figure this out on your own, probably consuming misinformation from amateur sources, taking wrong turns that cost you money and time, and likely wasting opportunities that could have changed your life. Or you can let me personally guide you through every step, showing you exactly what I've done to build a 7-figure business without the guesswork or the struggle. You can keep building someone else's dream, grinding away at a 9 to 5, or you can start building your own dream today. You can keep trading your time for money, working towards someone else's future, or you can finally create a business that works for you, giving the freedom that you've always wanted. But here's the thing, you need to make that decision now. Because remember, this isn't just about making money, this is about financial freedom. It's about taking control of your time, your life, and your future. It's about never having to answer to a boss again, about having the freedom to work from anywhere at any time, doing what it is that you love. Now just imagine, in 30 days, 60 days, or 90 days from now, your first profitable product launch, watching your brand really take off, experiencing your first real taste of financial freedom. Or you can stay where you are, building someone else's dream, trading time for money, stuck in the grind, living that same old routine. The choice is yours, but you need to decide now. If you're ready to learn how to start a 50k per month e-commerce business from scratch, click the button below to find out exactly what we're offering. Get lifetime access to the future of eCom Launchpad and start building your future today. I can't wait to see you inside, and I look forward to our one-on-one call very soon.